Hello and welcome. We're going to have UD versus St. Thomas coming up for you soon. It's a brisk 73 degrees at game time with about a 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to left field. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the University of Dubuque. Starting off for us, we have second baseman Jack Laswell. In right field, we have J.J. Valencia. First base, Kellen Mitchell. Center field, Justin Jensen. The DH for today is going to be Thomas Kempf. Catcher is going to be Dalton Kvenvold. Left field, we have Jared Clevenger. Batting eighth, we got the third baseman, Ian Meyer. And batting last, Zach McCoy playing shortstop. IO is almost done for Dubuque, so shortly we'll have first pitch, and hopefully we can get you the St. Thomas lineup shortly. Oh, but last but not least, look at our starting pitcher profile. We have Chase Keeter on the bump today. From Bellevue, Iowa, the senior right-hander. First game against WashU, took the loss in 5 innings. Didn't give up any walks, but had 5 strikeouts in those 5 innings. And we'll be back shortly with some action. We are still awaiting first pitch as the ground crew is still getting the field ready. But we could take this time to look at the upcoming schedule as we're set to have a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's, 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. And then the day after that, on Tuesday, we'll take on Carroll at 4 p.m. Mountain. And then after that, we'll play Valley City State at 12:30. And while they're still finishing up the field, we're going to take a look at the St. Thomas side. We're going to have Sam Cox leading it off. And then Rock Cates at third base. At first, we're going to have Ryan Lutz. At second, Adam Krajewski. At short, Kyle Halverson. At second, Dan Bollingberg. Playing right, Evan Kolker. The DH is Chandler Schuffbauer. The center fielder is going to be Avery Lehman. And taking the mound for St. Thomas is going to be Graham Laubscher. And St. Thomas is just taking the field. So we are almost underway here at Keno Sports Complex in Tucson, Arizona. And we're just about underway here as Laswell steps into the box. So we're going to start with a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Jack's batting 143 on the year. However, we are only through 2 games, and he's hit a lot of balls hard. And the first pitch of the game. Winds and deals. And it's a ball outside. One 0 count to Laswell. And the next pitch is a strike, just at the top of the strike zone. Third pitch of the at-bat is in the dirt. Curveball in the dirt. We got 2-1. Laswell is from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Oh, and Laswell hits this ball into center, and it's caught by the center fielder for out number 1. Stepping in now is number 3, the right fielder, J.J. Valencia. And the 0-0 offering to him is a strike in the outside part of the plate. And the next pitch is fouled back to the screen from Valencia. And the 0-2 is taken for a ball. On the outside half. And the 1-2 is taken in the dirt. Another curveball to Valencia. All knotted up here at 2. And he deals. Valencia swung on, Tapper right in front of the plate. And he is out by a step. Put out 2-3 as Valencia becomes out number 2. Stepping in is number 13, Kellen Mitchell. And the first 2 pitches to Kellen Mitchell are both balls. So he starts ahead in this count. And another ball just missing the top of the zone. 3-0, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes here again. And the offering. And he does take, and this time it's a strike. 3-1 to Mitchell. And this one's inside, almost nicks Mitchell, but that's ball 4, so Dubuque's got their first base runner of the game. As Mitchell takes a walk on 5 pitches, there are 2 down here in the inning as number 18, the center fielder, Justin Jensen, steps in. And it's a ball high to start the at-bat. And a pick over to first, and Laswell just gets back in there. And the pitch. It's taken at the letters for strike 1, a 1-1 count to Justin. As we have 2 outs and our man on first in the form of Kellen Mitchell. And the 1-1 is taken for a strike as a curveball is left up. And we go to 1-2. And Jensen goes down looking to end the top of the first. Still no score. And we're back at Keno Sports Complex as St. Thomas is up to bat now. They're going to be facing a very difficult righty in that of Chase Keeter. Keeter was all conference last year. And the first pitch to Sam Cobb is swung on for a strike as Keeter starts his day with one strike. And the 0-1. Another fastball down and away for a ball. And Keeter tries another fastball, and that one misses too. Count is now 2-1. And Keeter just catches the outside corner with that slider, bringing it to 2-2. And the 2-2 from Keeter. Just slow. Missing down and in. Count runs to full. And Keeter strikes him out on the changeup inside for out number 1. We got a beautiful day here at Keno Sports Complex, 73 degrees. A little bit windy though, 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to center and left center. And in steps Cates as Keeter starts him off with a fastball, catching the outside corner as well. Oh, and Keeter goes up the ladder to run the count to 0-2. Chase is not a guy that deviates much from the strike zone. He likes to attack hitters and get in a good pitcher's counts. And the 0-2. Just missing outside on the fastball. Keeter winds and deals. And he strikes him out. Another fastball. And Keeter's got 2 strikeouts on the day. Two outs brings up Lust, one of the better hitters from this St. Thomas squad. And he foul tips that one back to the screen, and Keeter's ahead again. We got a beautiful view from up here in the observation deck here at Keno Sports Complex. You can see the mountains in right field. That's definitely a beautiful sight out there. And Keeter leaves a curveball up, and Jensen's got to go back into right center, and the wind's blowing out. And it's going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. This wind is definitely just howling out to the outfield. Keeter hung that curveball a little bit, and Lust did not miss it. Still have 2 down as Krajewski steps in. And Keeter is coming from the stretch. And he starts ahead once again with a strike on a fastball up and in. Big lead from the guy at second base. Keeter slider just misses outside as the count runs to 1-1. And that's swung on for another strike. 1-2. Krajewski had a big 2 games yesterday as he went 2 for 4 in game 1 as St. Thomas defeated Aurora 6-4. He had 2 RBIs in that game, then went 1 for 1 with a run and an RBI against Carroll as they won 13-2. And the 1-2. Ooh. And that one just missed the strike zone on a slider. Keeter thought he got it. Umpire says, not today. The count runs to 2-2. We have a partially cloudy day today as the sun's just peeking through right now. And the 2-2 is up. It was a wild pitch. And Luss moves up to second on the wild pitch. And the count runs full on Krajewski. Runner on third, 2 outs, 3-2 count. And time's called by Krajewski as he steps out. And the 3-2 is hit on and foul down the third baseline. Just foul. And we'll do that over again. And the pitch. Swung on, hit the third again, and it's foul again. And this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Krajewski. We got some packed stands here for this game today. A lot of blue, a lot of blue. And the pitch. It's a slider fouled back to the screen. St. Thomas has traveled down here from Minnesota, and they have quite a few fans as well. And the pitch. And Keeter strikes him out with a high heat. Keeter with 3 strikeouts in the inning, giving up a ground rule double. And he gets out of that mini jam. And Dubuque's coming back up to bat with Kempf, Kvenvold, and Clevenger as we step away. Welcome back. as we have Thomas Kempf leading off the top of the second inning. A 0-0 tie. And that one's up and in on Kempf. 1-0 count to start the inning. Ooh, and that one's even farther inside and almost nicks Kempf. Go to 2-0. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup right here. And the 2-0. Ooh, that one was also up and in. Kempf barely fights that one off as it goes back to the screen. Thomas is from Chicago, Illinois, a senior, and he's the DH for tonight's game. And the 2-1 offering. Ooh. Kempf swings through that two-seam fastball, and it's 2-2. And Kempf swings through that one, and that's the second strikeout of the day for the Spartans. And the catcher, number 47, Dalton Kvenvold, steps in. He's a transfer from Utah. And he swings at that first pitch, and that one's fouled back to the screen. The Spartans on the year are 0-1-1 after a tough weekend in St. Louis. And Kvenvold bunts that one, and the catcher scoops that one up for another 2-3 put out. Now steps in Jared Clevenger all the way from Tallahassee, Florida. And they're having a discussion. Could have been about the bunt, having the ball hit the bat twice. Couldn't see it from our vantage point. However, there is a discussion going on between head coach of the Spartans, Paul Wachowski, and the home plate umpire. As we look at some scores around the league, Luther is losing 5-7 in 6 innings. After 6 innings right now. Head into the 7th. And Clevenger steps in. And he bunts that one foul. Jared's a senior from Tallahassee, Florida. And this is going to be another lefty-lefty matchup. And he hits that one hard, but fouled on the first base line. Count runs 0-2. And the 0-2 to Clevenger. It's outside for a ball. Count runs to 1-2. And the pitch. Clevenger hits that. It could drop. And it does as it lands in left center in between the shortstop, left fielder, and center fielder. And the Spartans have their first hit of the game. Clevenger just got that over the head of the shortstop and in between the left and center fielders for a perfect base hit. Now in steps Ian Meyer with 2 gone. Runner on first is Clevenger. And the pick over first, and Clevenger gets back safely. And the first pitch to Meyer is outside for a ball. And the pick over to first again. Clevenger gets back in standing. And the 1-0, the fastball just on the outside of the corner for a strike. And another pick over. Clevenger has to dive back in, but gets in safely. And the pitch. It's a curveball right down the middle for a strike. As the count runs to 1-2 with 2 outs. Runner on first is Clevenger in the top of the second inning. And the 1-2. It's down in the dirt. Another fastball. Runs the count to 2-2. Ian's the third baseman for today's game. And the 2-2. He check swing, and the home plate umpire says he did. And that'll be the end of the second for the Spartans, as they had 1 hit, 0 errors, and 1 left on as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And we're back as the Spartans take the field. For the bottom of the second, Keeter on the mound. He already has 3 Ks on the day as Halverson steps in. And he shows bunt, and he big chopper goes back to Keeter, and he throws on to first for the easy out. Keeter won the ABCA Rawlings Gold Glove last year for D3 pitchers. Only one of those given out, and he was lucky enough to receive it. And the first pitch to Bollingberg is a strike. Another fastball on the outside corner. And the 0-1 is just outside, bounces away from the catcher, Kvenvold. And Keeter with the 1-1. Chopper to the third base side, and foul. Keeter in these first 2 innings has gotten ahead of all but one hitter to start the at-bat, which has been a key so far. And time's called. As the 1-2 to Bollingberg is taken for strike 3, and Keeter has strikeout number 4 through 1 2/3 innings. And he's looking strong so far, as there are 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Steps in Evan Kolker, and he pops it foul back to the left of us for strike 1. Kolker also had a big game in Game 1 against Aurora, as he hits that, and it nicks off Keeter's glove into center field for another base hit. Kolker was 2 for 2 in Game 1 against Aurora. In steps Schaffbauer. Got 2 outs and a runner on first. As Keeter comes from the stretch. And again, first pitch, fastball strike. Keeter looks in for the sign. And the pitch. Just outside with a fastball. Count runs to 1-1. In the last 2 games that St. Thomas has played, they've had 6 stolen bases, 2 against Aurora and 4 against Carroll University. And the pitch. In the dirt, Kvenvold blocks that nicely. But it's taken for a ball. Two-one count from Keeter. And swung on for a strike. Looked like it was going to be a ball, but it was swung on anyway. And Keeter brings it back to 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 outs, runner on first. And the pitch. And he swings through that. Keeter's got 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. As we come back, we'll have McCoy, Laswell, and Valencia to start the top half of the 3rd for the Spartans. And we're back for the top of the 3rd inning. As Zach McCoy steps in, all the way from Modesto, California. And the first pitch is taken upstairs for a ball. And he swings through the 1-0 offering on the outside part of the plate, throwing the count to 1-1. Zach's been given the name Smoothie by his teammates. And the 1-1, and he swings through that as well. Down in the zone. He's just a sophomore, starting at shortstop for the Spartans. And the 1-2. And he takes a curveball. Just hits the top of the zone for a strikeout. In steps Laswell. Ooh, and that one, curveball hits Laswell high up on the shoulder. And he'll be going down to first base. The 1 out. Got a runner on first. And Adam McCoy. He's got some wheels. So we'll keep an eye on him over there at first base. And the pitch is a curveball in the dirt and gets by the catcher. And I'm sorry, that was Laswell over there at first base. And he's going to make it standing up to second on the wild pitch. Or actually from the pass ball. Sorry. We got a 1-0 count to Valencia. Laswell's got a good-sized lead over there at second, and the pitch. That one's in the dirt, and it bounces off the screen and bounces back to the pitcher, and Laswell is up to third. We have a very lively backstop here at Keno Sports Complex Field 5. They're not very far back, but they're definitely lively, and the balls bounce off very quickly. So Valencia's got a 2-0 count to start the at-bat. As he calls time. And the 2-0. Valencia swung on. And Laswell's caught in a rundown in between third and home as he's trying his best to get his teammate over to second, and he does. But that'll be out number 2 as Laswell gets hung up between third and home. But Valencia does make it all the way to second. So there's 2 outs. Kellen Mitchell is now the batter. First baseman from Batavia, Illinois. Well, another lefty-on-lefty matchup. And he takes that first pitch for a strike, the changeup on the inside corner. Valencia's got a big lead over there at second. So no one's holding him on. And the pitch. And Mitchell fouls that back to the screen. We have an 0-2 count to Mitchell, 2 outs. Runner on second is Valencia, and the pitch. And Mitchell doesn't get all of that. It's sky to center. And the center fielder's going to make the play for out number 3. Spartan strand a man, but can't get anybody in. Still 0-0 after 2.5. And we're back for the bottom of the third inning as Lehman's up. A 9-hole hitter for the Tommies. Chase Keeter's got 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. And the first one is fouled back to the screen. And the 0-1. Another fastball strike. Keeter is ahead again in this count. And the 0-2 to Lehman. And that's up and in on him. We're on the count to 1-2. Keeter winds and deals. And that one's also fouled back. Earlier, the JV team took on Bismarck State's JV team, and they did not come out with a win on that one. They lost 11-4. And the 1-2. And Keeter gets him with a slider. It was almost in the other batter's box, but he still gets him for the strikeout. That's number 6 on the day for Keeter. That slider is Keeter's dominant pitch. But he's only used it once to get a strikeout today. And we're at the top of the order with Cobbs. As the first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. And pitch number 2 is outside to Cobbs. One of the very few hitters that Keeter has fallen behind so far in this game. And the 2-0. Down low, 3-0 to Cobbs. And that's 4 straight from Keeter as he walks. Cobbs brings up Rock Cates. He struck out his first time. Keeter's looking for a double play ball to get himself out of this inning. And that ball swung on and hit very far, but very foul. Keeter gets ahead of this batter. And the 0-1. Fastball up. And that one gets fouled and goes back to the screen as well. Runs the count to 0-2. Keeter looks in for the sign. And the pitch. Curveball popped up. And Zach McCoy catches it at short. For out number 2, runner stays put. And that's 2 down with a runner on first. Bringing in Ryan Lust. And a ball just outside there to start Lust off. Lust was the man back in the first inning that hit a ground rule double over the right center fence. And the runner takes off, but catcher Kvenvold couldn't hang on. And Cobbs is in there standing. As Keeter delivers a strike right there. I believe the count's 1-2. Sorry, 2-1 to Lust. Keeter jams him with a slider, and that's fouled off to the right side. Count runs even to 2-2. You got 2 outs. Runner on second is Cobbs. And the 2-2 from Keeter. Hit to the third baseman softly. Throw over to first is high, but it pulls the first baseman Mitchell off the bag. And that'll be an E5. Error on the third baseman Meyer keeps the inning alive for the Tommies. We got runners on first and third. 2 outs. Bringing in Kajewski. He struck out his first time up. Keeter picks over to first. Check on the runner. He's back in there safely. And the 2-2 is hit on to center field, and Jensen looks like he's got it, and he does. Tommy Strand 2 that inning. As we're through 3, and we still have no score. And we're just about to start off the top of this 4th inning. We'll have Jensen, Kempf, and Kvenvold up to start off the inning for the Spartans. Jensen came into the starting role in center field about halfway through last year and has been there ever since. He's got great bat along with great speed. And here's the first pitch of the 4th inning. He's taken on in the dirt. Curveball to Jensen for ball 1. And that one just catches the outside corner on the two-seamer. Running the count to 1-1. And the 1-1 to Jensen. As he swung on, chopper to short. Could be a tough play. And Jensen gets there in time. The speed of Jensen and the fact that it was a high chopper to short and the shortstop didn't charge it helped Jensen get to first fairly easily. Steps in the big lefty, Thomas Kempf. He's got a lot of power. Struck out his first time. But don't let that fool you. He's got a lot of power. And Kempf takes the first pitch up and in for a ball. And the pick over to first. And Jensen dives in there safely. And the pitch, Kempf checks his swing, but the umpire says he went around as the count moves to 1-1. Runner on first, nobody out. We got a 1-1 count, Thomas Kempf at the plate. And the pick over to first again. And Jensen gets back in, sliding again. Jensen's got good speed over there at first base. And Kempf gets this one into right field for a single. As that moved Jensen up to second base. And the Spartans have a little bit of a rally going right now. 2 back-to-back singles in the inning. And that'll bring up the catcher, Kvenvold. This last time up, tried to bunt, and it didn't go far enough, and the catcher got him for the 2-3 putout. And the inside move to second, and Jensen's back in standing. No throw from the pitcher. As he steps into the box. And Kvenvold shows bunt, pulls it back. Ball high. Kvenvold's not that tall for a catcher, but definitely has some power. And he's definitely good at blocking balls back there. And the 1-0. He swings and fouls that one back to the screen. As he went after a fastball high there. Clevenger's on deck. We got no outs. Kvenvold up. Jensen at second and Kempf at first after both had singles. Kvenvold shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a called strike on the slider. Count runs to 1-2. And the pitch. Swung on by Kvenvold. Could be a double play ball, but they're only going to get one on that. Kempf out at second on the fielder's choice. Put out 6-4. Spartans have one gone with Jensen on third and Kvenvold on first. Stepping in, the Tallahassee native, Jared Clevenger. The senior lefty Season hasn't been all too kind to him, but he's hoping to change that around here in Tucson. Wearing number 21. And Clevenger calls time. And the pitch is outside. Wild pitch. Moves Kvenvold up, but doesn't score Jensen. Very short backstop here at Keno. Anywhere else that might have scored him, but not here. But anyway, we got runners on second and third with only one out. Clevenger looking to give the Spartans the lead early on here. And the pitch. It's swung on, and it's in the gap. That might be two for Clevenger, as there's definitely two in, and Kvenvold just comes in. Clevenger slides into second. That's a double. 2 RBI double by Clevenger. Gives the Spartans a 2-0 lead to start the game. I believe that's Jared's first hit of the season, and that's a big, big hit to start off this trip. Jensen scores from third, Kvenvold scores from second, and the Spartans have a 2-0 lead with still only one out in the inning. And Meyer lines out to short, and they get Clevenger on the double play. However, it's 2-0 Spartans here before we come back in the bottom of the fourth. And we're back for the bottom of the fourth inning, as we'll have Halverson, Bollingberg, and Kolker to start the inning for the Tommies. It's cooled off a little bit here in Tucson, Arizona. I know that's not a lot for the people back in the Midwest who have about 30, 20-degree weather, but it's beautiful down here. And the first pitch from Keeter is upstairs for a ball to Halverson. And the 1-0 is taken outside. Spartans up 2-0 if you just missed it. Clevenger with a 2 RBI double. And 3-0 to start the first batter of the inning for Keeter. Halverson had a 1-3 chopper back to Keeter last time. And Keeter walks him on 4 straight. Bringing in Bollingberg, who struck out looking last at bat. Keeter looks at the runner from first. Gets the sign and the pitch. On the outside corner to Bollingberg. Strike 1. And Keeter checks over at first. But Halverson's upstanding. Bolingbrook had 2 really good games yesterday in the doubleheader for the Tommies, going 3 for 5 against Aurora and 1 for 2 against Carroll with an RBI. And the pitch. Swung on, hit into the gap in right center. And Valencia can't come up with it. And the runner rounds third, but doesn't make his way home. That'll be a double for Bolingbrook. And the Tommies are threatening with runners on second and third with nobody out. Toughest test for Keeter so far in the game, as there haven't been many runners on base. Steps in Evan Kolker. And the 0-0 slider is taken for a strike, as Keeter gets ahead of this batter. And Kolker pops this one up to McCoy over at short, and the runners aren't able to advance, as there's 1 out. Runners on second and third now with Schaffbauer coming up. And the pitch. Curveball, low and outside. Schaffbauer struck out his last time swinging, as he calls time right here. And Kvenvold goes out to the mound to talk to Keeter. Schaffbauer steps back into the box. And we're ready for the 1-0. Two-seamer running in. And Keeter gets it back to 1-1. Runners on second, third, 1 out. And the pitch. Swung on, hit into the gap. And that'll score 2. Schaffbauer has a 2 RBI single to tie this game back up at 2. As Lehman steps back in. Struck out his last time. Keeter deals for a strike on the inside corner. Righty versus righty matchup right here. Pitch out, and the runner's going. Good throw. And Schaffbauer steals second. Even with the pitch out, still makes it there. Throw was a little bit off target. And we have a runner at second for the Tommies with only 1 down. The 1-1 from Keeter. Slider. Swinging through that was Lehman. Count goes to 1-2. And the pitch. Curveball hit foul to the right side. Count still 1-2. Keeter winds and deals. And he gets strikeout number 7 as Lehman swings through that one. 2 outs, runner on second. And we're back to the top of the order in Cobb's. And it's hit to the third baseman. And it gets through third base, and it's going to be an RBI double for Cobb's as it gets past the third baseman Meyer. And the Tommies have taken the lead here in the bottom of the fourth. In steps Cates. And he swings through strike 1. Cates is struck out and popped out to the shortstop McCoy. So he's 0 for 2 on the day. And the 0-1. Great slider by Keeter. Catches the outside corner. And that runs the count to 0-2. Tommies have 3 in already this inning. 2 out. 0-2 count. Runner on second. Cates is the batter. And the 0-2. Swung on. Skied out to center. And Jensen has it. And that'll end to the bottom of the fourth as the Tommies take back the lead with 3 runs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And the Spartans are coming up to bat. And we're back here on the top of the fifth as the Tommies lead 3-2. Starting off the Spartans, Zach McCoy, the shortstop. And the pitch is taken high and outside for ball 1. McCoy was a freshman last year starting at short. As he takes ball 2 in the dirt. Very, very, very good defensively over there. And the 2-0. It's taken right at the top outside corner for strike one. And the 2-1 offering. McCoy swings on and follows that one off to right by the Tommies dugout. Two and two count. Lefty versus righty matchup here. And the pitch. Curveball misses the top part of the zone as count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. McCoy's pretty good in these situations. And the pitch. And it's outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued to McCoy as the top of the order comes up with number 5, Jack Laswell. So far today, he flied out to center and was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. And ball hits the outside corner to Laswell. Count 0-1. Runner at first, McCoy. And that one hits the outside corner as well. Two-seam fastball just snuck over the backside of the plate. Runs the count to 0-2 on Laswell. And the pick over. McCoy gets back in there safely. And the 0-2 is high to Laswell. The lefty steps back in, lefty-lefty matchup, and a pick over to first. And McCoy gets back in safely again. Spartans are threatening to get that run back. And a ball in the dirt to Laswell runs the count to 2-2. And the pick over on McCoy again. And he gets back in safely. Got 0 outs here. Top of the 5th inning. Laswell up, McCoy on first. 2-2 to Laswell. And the pitch. Laswell hits it back up the middle, and that's going to be a single. McCoy will move up to second. And the Spartans are threatening again. This is the exact same way the Spartans got their first 2 runs of the game back last inning when Jensen and Kemp both started off with singles. And there's a mound visit happening right now between the Tommies and all of their infielders. And we'll look at a score from around the league as Luther is losing to Washington University, who the Spartans played last week. And they're down 8-5 after 7 innings. In steps Valencia. He had a 2-3 put out his first time up and then grounded into a fielder's choice. Valencia squares to bunt, pulls back, and it's called a ball. One-0 count to Valencia. McCoy on second, Laswell on first, nobody out. Squares the bunt again. This one's just foul, though. Has the 1-1 to Valencia. The pitch. He squares the bump, pulls it back, and it was outside. 2-1 count to Valencia. And Valencia calls time. Looks back at Coach Paul Wachowski over at third base to get the sign. Make sure he had it right. And the 2-1. And a check on the runner at second. No throw from the pitcher. McCoy back in safely. And the pitch. Valencia swings. Fly ball into right field. McCoy's tagging at second. And he isn't going to go anywhere. That's a fly out for Valencia, right field. As there's now one down. In steps Kellen Mitchell. 0 for 1 in the day with a fly out to center and a walk. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Mitchell swings on, that's far into left field. Runners aren't going to be able to advance there. And that's a fly out to left field for 2 outs. In steps Justin Jensen, who helped kickstart the rally from last inning. But with 2 outs this time. And the pitch. Curveball. Right down the middle as Jensen looks at strike 1. And the 1-1 or the 1-0 is taken outside. And the 1-1 is outside, 2-1. Last year, Jensen batted .351, taking over in center with 20 RBIs. And the 2-1. Curveball in there for strike 2. Played in 26 games last year. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on. And the pitch is a fastball in the dirt. Drop third strike, and the catcher throws on to first. And that ends the threat for the Spartans in the top of the 5th. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Tommy's up 3-2 over the Spartans. And we're back here in the bottom of the 5th. Tommy's up 3-2 on the Spartans. In steps Lust, who's been a thorn in the side of the Spartans so far, as he's had a double the right center and reached on an error. And he swings and fouls the first pitch of the at-bat. Keeter gets ahead on this one. And 0-1. Great slider by Keeter. Catches the outside corner for strike 2. I have a feeling we could see a curveball in the dirt right here, as Lust calls time. And the 0-2. Slider just misses the outside corner to 1-2. Lust batted .384 last year in 30 games with 16 RBIs. Keeter misses with a fastball in the outside corner here. Runs the count to 2-2. And the 2-2. Swung on, chopped foul past the third base bag. And we'll do the 2-2 again. Swung on and struck out Lust on the great slider from Chase Keeter. That's strikeout number 8. As that brings in Krajewski, who's also K'd and flied out to center. Krajewski, first pitch, grounded out to second baseman Jack Laswell for the 4-3 putout. As 6 pitches into the inning, Keeter's got 2 outs. And that'll bring in Halverson, who walked and had the 1-3 putout to Keeter earlier. And he takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. And Keeter uses that slider, but it's just a wee bit outside there. Keeter's chasing down the career strikeout record at UD, set by his former teammate last year, Doug Van Dyke. And another slider, and that gets in for strike 2. 1-2 count on Halverson. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And he strikes him out. Keeter has strikeout number 9 through 5 innings. As we go to the top of the 6th, Tommies still lead the Spartans 3-2. And we're back here in the top of the 6th. Leading off is Thomas Kempf. Following him will be Dalton Kvenvold and Jared Clevenger, who brought in 2 runs back in the 4th inning. And Kempf tries to check his swing, but the umpire says he went around. And Kemp check swings that one, and it goes right back to the pitcher, and he tosses on to first for the out. Quick out for the Tommies here. As in steps Dalton Kvenvold, just transferred in this year. So far today, he's bunted 2-3 and grounded into a fielder's choice. And the first pitch he sees this inning is a strike. Oh, 1 count to Kvenvold. That one just misses the outer top part of the zone. Count runs to 1-1. And Kvenvold follows that back to the screen. Sun's come back out here at Keno, down in Tucson, Arizona. There's not very many clouds left in the sky, and it's surprisingly warmed up. And Kvenvold takes that slider in the dirt. 2-2. And another slider just outside, says the home plate umpire. Runs the count to 3-2 with 1 out to Kvenvold. And Kvenvold steps out, thinks things over. 3-2 count with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And the pitch. And he swings through it, and it's a drop third strike. Catcher throws on to first for the out. As in steps Clevenger. He had the big 2 out, or the 1 out, 2 RBI double back in the 4th inning. And he pops this one up center field. Looks like the center fielder's got it, and he does. And that'll end the inning for the Spartans. They go down quietly here as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Tommy's lead 3-2. And we're back here in the bottom of the 6th. Skeeter's back out here for a 6th inning of work. He's got 9 Ks already through 5 innings. And in steps the 6-hole hitter Bollingberg. He struck out looking and had a double so far today. And he shows bunt, but the Keeter slider drops in there for a strike. And he scored back in that 4th inning. That gave the Tommies the lead. Keeter misses the zone with a slider on the next one. Runs the count to 1-1. And the offering. Fastball catching the outside corner. Runs the count to 1-2. And the 1-2. Slider hit to center field. Jensen seems to have a beat on it, and he does for out number 1. And with that, it brings in 7-hole hitter Evan Kolker. He's singled and popped out to short today. Last year he batted .256 in 16 games. And this one he grounds over to first. And Mitchell takes it to the bag himself for a quick 2 outs. As in steps Schaffbauer. He takes a ball up, just misses the top part of the zone. Keeter puts a curveball in the dirt there. And the 2-0. Fastball popped up. It's way up there. Laswell calls for it, and he's got it. And the Tommies go 1-2-3 here in the 6th. Tommies still lead, though, 3-2. And we're back here in the top of the 7th as Ian Meyer leads off, third baseman. He's struck out and lined into a double play back in the 4th inning. And the first pitch floats in there for a ball. Slider didn't seem to move on that one. And tries with a fastball, and that misses low in the dirt. Count runs to 2-0 on Meyer. And that one hits the outside part of the plate for a fastball. 2-1 the count on Meyer. And Meyer calls time just before the pitcher started his windup. On deck we have Zach McCoy. And that one misses upstairs as well, so that runs to 3-1. And the offering is missed high. Meyer starts the inning with a walk. One of the cardinal sins of baseball, letting the leadoff man on with a walk. And that's what happens here in the top of the 7th. As Meyer gets on, and he's going to be taken out for a pinch runner in Josh Pulowski. Bringing in a little more speed as we are late in the game. Josh is definitely a speed threat over there at first. Zach McCoy batted .259 last year, started in 19 games at short, had 10 RBIs, 17 runs scored. His bat has definitely improved from last year. Definitely see him up around the 300 mark this year. He's got a great eye. As McCoy steps in. Runner at first is Pulowski as he came in to pinch run for Meyer as he walked. McCoy shows bunt, and the ump says that it caught the zone. Count runs to 0-1. McCoy looks for some signs down from the third base coach. And the big lefty throws over to first. And Pulowski gets back in there safely. Sun's coming in from behind the Spartan dugout on the third base side, so it's definitely hard right now for the right fielder to see balls. Again, we got a beautiful setting in right field with the mountains. And the pitch. McCoy shows bunt. He gets it down. They go to second with the throw, and they get Pulowski by half a step as he slides in there. But it's called out. And the sac bunt attempt is beat out. In steps Jack Laswell. Laswell broke the season hit record for the Spartans last season with 62 hits. Definitely see him back up there again this year. And the pitch. In the dirt. One out here in the top of the 7th. Laswell up. McCoy over at first. Laswell shows bunt. McCoy gets to second standing as he gets a stolen base. And that was a ball on Laswell. Throw is about 2 feet wide from second base, and McCoy is in there standing. Lefty-lefty matchup right now as Laswell stands in the left-handed batter's box. And a really good slider gets in there for strike one to Laswell, running the count to 2-1. And the pitch. Just catches the bottom of the zone on that slider. Count runs to 2-2 on Laswell. McCoy's at second after the stolen base. Here in the top of the 7th. And the pitch. Laswell hits it, but it's going to get out of play. And the count remains at 2-2. Laswell batted .346 last year. Started in every game. And the pitch. And he swings at a ball outside the zone. And that'll be out number 2. Steps J.J. Valencia, the right fielder. Looking to hopefully tie this game back up at 3. And the slider doesn't catch the outside corner on that one. Valencia's grounded into a fielder's choice and flown out to right field today. And the pitch. Slider hits the zone there. 1-1 count to Valencia now. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Runner on second is McCoy. And the 1-1. It's up and out to Valencia. 2-1 count. And the 2-1's in the dirt. Runs the count to 3-1. There's a final in St. Louis as Luther loses to Wash U 8-6. And the slider just catches the outside part of the plate as the count runs full to Valencia. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner on second's McCoy. And the pitch. Once he hits it, and it gets down. McCoy's rounded third, and he's going to make it home. And Valencia is going to try and go to second, but he's going to be out. But this game is tied. Valencia with the RBI single. Thrown out trying to stretch it to 2. And the Spartans tie this game back up at 3, going into the bottom of the 7th. We're back here in the bottom of the 7th. Spartans just tied the game back up at 3 on a single from JJ Valencia. He was out, though, trying to stretch a single and was thrown out at second from the catcher. We're going to have 9-1 and 2 up. Lehman, Cobbs, and Cates up for the Tommies. As the first pitch from Keeter to Lehman is a strike. And a slider is hit over to McCoy in the hole. And Lehman just gets there in time. Very close play over there at first, but he gets there in time. McCoy was very far in the hole. Out at short. Didn't have enough on that throw to get Lehman. So there's a runner on first. Cobb steps in, and the third baseman makes the play as the runner gets to second as he was stealing on the pitch. So that was a 5-3 putout. But the runner moves up to second as Cates steps in. And making that play was Jordan Goldstein. That ball's hit a long way into left field. But it's going to be foul. Jordan Goldstein comes in to play third as Ian Meyer was taken out for a pinch runner last inning. So Goldstein's the new third baseman. And a great curveball from Keeter sends the count to 0-2 on Cates. Runner on second with 1 out. And the 0-2. And the pickoff to second. And Lehman's back in. Cates fouls that one onto the field to the right of us. Count's still 0-2. 3-3 here in the 7th. 1 out, runner on second is Lehman. Keeter looking for strikeout number 10 on the day. And the 0-2. Slider outside. Cates didn't bite at that one. It's now 1-2. And that one's skied up, but it's going to get out of play. To the right again. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat to Cates. And the pitch is high. That'll run the count to 2-2 on Cates. He's struck out, popped out to short, and flown out to center field. And the 2-2 from Keeter. Fastball just a bit outside. That'll run the count to full. Keeter's been pretty good all day. 10 with 9 strikeouts on the day. Giving up 3 runs. And the pitch is a strikeout. Number 10 for Keeter. And that's 2 gone for the Tommies. As that brings in Lust, who struck out his last time. He's 1 for 3 on the day. And the pitch. It's flown on to center field. Jensen seems to have it tracked down, and he does. Keeter gets out of that mini jam, and we're headed to the top of the 8th, tied up at 3. And we're here on the top of the 8th. Tommies and Spartans all knotted up at 3. We got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, so the heart of the Spartan lineup coming up, and Mitchell, Jensen, and Kemp. See if they can put a rally together and scratch 1 or 2 across. See some Tommies down in the bullpen, getting warm. Unfortunately, we're not able to read any numbers, and I'm sure there's some people warming up in the Dubuque bullpen as well. Both of these starters have done very well to keep their teams in the game. This has been an up and back battle the entire time. And Mitchell takes ball 1. And he takes ball 2 outside. And he takes strike 1. Ooh, and he takes strike 2 that just catches the outside corner, I guess. Two-seamer came back over the plate. And Mitchell swings at a slider on the outside for strike 3. As Kemp comes in. And another pitching change for the Tommies. As the righty comes in. Luke Ratchwall comes in for one batter and gets Mitchell swinging. And we'll be right back. And we're back as the new pitcher is number 47 for the Tommies, Andrew Try. He came in against Aurora his last outing in the 8th inning. He pitched a very well 8th inning against a hard Aurora team. And he's done with his warm-up pitches. And in steps Justin Jensen. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a single and 2 Ks. And the two-seamer's in there for a strike to Jensen. And the 0-1. Swung on and fouled back. 2 strikes on Jensen now. This righty's got a little bit more velocity than the starting lefty pitcher. Ooh, and that one almost gets away from Try as he tries to throw a curveball. And it almost hits Jensen in the head. And the 1-2. Fastball on the outside corner gets Jensen looking for out number 2. And in steps Thomas Kemp. 1 for 3 on the day with a single. Try flutters in a curveball high. And the next one's a fastball in on Kemp, and he battles that one off and fouls it back. Righty on lefty matchup here as the 1-1. Kemp swings a little late on that swing and fouls it to the left side. Count runs to 1-2. That one runs in on Kempf, and he check swings that foul. So we'll remain at 1-2. Another curveball fluttered outside. 2-2 count. Another fastball down and in, and Kemp fights that one off and follows it back to the screen. Kemp batted .345 last year with 49 hits and 32 RBIs in 38 games. And the 2-2 again is high. And that'll send the count to full, 3-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Try winds and deals. And Kemp hits that one, screaming liner into right field. And he'll be on first with a single. In steps Dalton Kvenvold. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Curveball flutters up high for ball 1 to Kvenvold. Spartans looking to put together a 2-out rally right here and scratch across a run. And that ball catches the bottom part of the zone. Runs the count to 1-1. To Kvenvold. 2 outs. Runner on first is Kempf. Tied up at 3 here in the top of the 8th. And the pitch is low. Catcher blocks it, and that'll keep Kempf at first. Count goes to 2-1. Two-on offering is low and in the dirt. Somehow the catcher threw his glove at that one and stopped it from going to the backstop. Count runs to 3-1. Jared Clevenger's on deck. And the 3-1. And another full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Kvenvold, 2 outs. Runner on first is Kempf. He'll be off with the pitch. And the full count offering. As a ball gets back to the screen, and Kvenvold will walk. Kempf will be on second. And it looks like they're going to bring in a pinch runner for Kempf at second. Get a little bit more speed out there. And the pinch runner is going to be Max Snowden, the freshman. He has some wheels. As the Tommies go to the mound to talk things over. I know everyone back home listening's nervous right now. I definitely am too. We have a tie ball game here in the Top of the 8th, 3-3. Runner on second is Snowden. Runner on first is Kvenvold. Clevenger, number 21, is going to be the batter. He brought in 2 of the 3 Spartan runs with a 2 RBI double. And the first pitch is going to be chopped on. It's going to be a tough play for the second baseman. And just gets Clevenger by a step at first for the 4-3 put out. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Still knotted at 3. And we're back in the bottom of the 8th inning as we have a new pitcher for the Spartans, number 44, Nathan Schneiderman. Closed out 8 games for the Spartans last year and pitched 39 2/3 innings with 55 strikeouts. Due up, we'll have Krajewski, Halverson, and Bollingberg for the Tommies. And the first pitch is fouled to the right side. Schneiderman misses high with that one to the backstop. Seems like 2 quiet bullpens for both sides right now. Don't see much action on either side. And the 1-1. Hit on right center. And Valencia makes the play. That'll be 1 out. To start the bottom of the 8th. As Halverson steps in. 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a strikeout. Schneiderman, another liner, and Valencia is going to track this one down as well. And that'll be 2 gone for the Tommies quickly here in the bottom of the 8th. Schneiderman's only used 4 pitches this inning to get 2 outs. In steps Bollingberg. And the first pitch to him is high for a ball. And Schneiderman comes back with a strike right down the middle. And grounder to short to McCoy. He's got to hurry this throw, and he gets him. 6-3 for the putout. Schneiderman only uses 7 pitches to get through that inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Tommies. As we head to the top of the 9th, all knotted up at 3. And we're back in the top of the 9th. All knotted up at 3. As the freshman Jordan Goldstein steps up. Right-hander versus right-hander matchup right here. And the first pitch he sees, he swings and pops it up. And it's going to be caught by the third baseman, or by the first baseman, sorry. And that's a quick out, number 1. One out here in the top of the 9th. As Zach McCoy steps in. And first pitch swinging for him as well. That one ends up on the field to the right of us. And the 0-1. High to McCoy. And changes speeds right there and gets the curveball to work as it flutters in for a strike to McCoy. 1-2 count. And he hangs one, and McCoy hits that one into left field for a single. And now that brings in Jack Laswell. He's been known to come up in clutch situations and come through with a big hit. 1 out. Runner on first is McCoy, as the first baseman and the pitcher come together to talk things over. Laswell steps in. And the first pitch he sees is swung on, but line to the right fielder. And McCoy gets back in. Hard line out for Jack Laswell to the right fielder. And that's 2 outs. That'll bring in Valencia. 1 for 4 on the day with a single. That brought in the third Spartan run. That's a ball in the dirt. Catcher does a nice job blocking that one. McCoy can't advance. Try throws over to first. But McCoy's able to get back in safely. One 0 count to Valencia. Valencia hits this one hard to center field, but it's caught by the center fielder for the third out. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th, still tied at 3. And we're back in the bottom of the 9th. All tied up at 3. Nathan Schneiderman still on the mound for the Spartans. And it looks as if we have a pinch hitter. Number 8, Josh Thorpe, is going to enter the game for Colker to face Schneiderman. And the first pitch to Thorpe just misses the zone. And that one misses high to Thorpe. Count runs to 2-0. And that another one misses high. 3-0 to Thorpe. And that's 4 straight balls. And the pinch hitter Thorpe ends up with a walk. That brings in the DH, Schaffbauer. Schneiderman's looking for a double play right here. Nobody out. Schneiderman throws over to first, check on the runner. But he gets back in safely. Spartans are playing double play depth right here. And the sack bunt works out for Schaffbauer and gets the runner over to second with one out. That'll bring in Lehman. He's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a single. Oh, now coach is pulling him back. They're going to pinch hit right here. Bringing in number 11, Dan Scallion. Runner on second, nobody out. As Scallon comes in as the pinch hitter for Lehman. And Schneiderman starts him off with a strike. And the 0-1 is hit into center. Jensen's got a beat on it, and that'll be out number 2. And the runner will hold at second as he wasn't tagging on the play. So that's 2 gone for the Spartans. 1 more and we'll send this game into extra innings. Coming in's the leadoff man, Sam Cobbs. He's had an RBI double today in the big 4th inning for St. Thomas. Runner gets a big secondary lead off second. As the first pitch is in and it's a ball. And the 1-0 offering is in, and it's a strike. Count runs to 1-1 on Cobbs. One to Cobbs, runner at second, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. And Schneiderman gets strike 2 as Cobbs couldn't hold his swing. 1 strike could send this game to extra innings. And the pitch is inside. That'll run the count to 2-2. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner at second is Scallon. Is Thorpe. And the 2-2 from Schneiderman. Struck on and missed. And Schneiderman sending this game to extra innings. We're heading to the 10th. 3-3. And we're back with some extra baseball as the Tommies have brought in their closer, Sean Falbo. Last year he had 4 saves in 16 innings, only allowing 1 earned run at a .56 ERA. But he's going to be facing Mitchell, Jensen, and possibly a pinch hitter. And the first pitch of extra innings is a strike inside to Mitchell. Last 2 pitchers for the Tommies have had a lot more velocity than their starter today. And Mitchell swings through strike 2. 0-2 count now. And the count runs to 1-2. Here's the offer. And it's low to Mitchell as it bounces to the backstop. Count runs to 2-2. To Mitchell. And he swings through it. And that'll be out number 1. Bringing in Justin Jensen, the center fielder. He's been 1 for 4 today. The run scored back in the 4th inning. And he swings through strike 1 as well. And Jensen swings on and fouls that one back to the screen. He's behind now 0-2. Sun's barely peeking through the clouds right now. And the 0-2. And Jensen swings on, and that one goes into the field to the right of us. And we'll stay at 0-2. And the pitch is high from Falbo. Counts now 1-2. And the offering. Jensen swings it. Big chopper to the second baseman. And Jensen beats it out. The second baseman stayed back on it a little bit too much. And Jensen used his speed to get over to first. And the Spartans are going to keep Max Snowden in the lineup. The freshman, after Jensen squeaks out a base hit. One out here in the top of the 10th inning. Jensen on first, Snowden's the batter. The lights are just starting to come on here at Keno Sports Complex. And Snowden swings through strike one. Snowden steps in for the 0-1. That one just catches the top of the zone. 0-2. Falbo hasn't missed the strike zone very much. And the pitch. Snowden swings on, and it's a strikeout for Falbo, his second of the inning. And that'll bring up Dalton Kvenvold. Runner on first. 2 outs now. That one's high to Kvenvold. That one hits the bottom of the zone for Falbo. Counts now 1-1. And the 1-1. Ooh, swung on and fouled back as the runner Jensen was trying to steal second. Count runs to 1-2. Kvenvold just missed that pitch. And that one's outside. Pulling the count to 2-2 now. Kvenvold up. 2 outs. Runner on first is Jensen. And the 2-2 from Falbo. He's taken low, 3-2. Jensen will be off with the pitch. Kvenvold could, if he could hit this in the gap. with Jensen off on the pitch. That might bring him all the way around from first. And the 2-2. And Kvenvold pops that up. Might be in play. Just out of play on the first base side. Not enough room for the catcher to make the play. Full count once again. And the 3-2 from Falbo. Kvenvold fouls that one back as well. It's a real good fight by both pitcher and hitter right here. Neither one given an inch. We'll try the 3-2 for the third time now. And that's swung on by Kvenvold. That might get over the center fielder's head. He came in to get the ball. Jensen's definitely going to score. Kvenvold is on his way to third. And Kvenvold with the RBI triple in the top of the 10th. The center fielder came in on the ball. Instead of going out for it, it went right over his head all the way to the track in right center. And that gives the Spartans the lead. With Kvenvold at third base, bringing up Jared Clevenger now. And that's high and outside to Clevenger from Falbo. Clevenger's 2 for 4 on the day. That one just nicks the zone. Clevenger 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Brought in those 2 big runs back in the 4th. And now Kvenvold here in the top of the 10th. Clevenger pops this one up. Shortstop might have a beat on it. And he does. And that will send us to the bottom of the 10th. Spartans lead 4-3. And we're back in the bottom of the 10th. Spartans trying to hold on to this one. Up 4-3 after a Dalton Kvenvold RBI triple. Nathan Schneiderman is still on. And he'll face the heart of the Tommy's Order in Cates, Lust, and Krajewski. And first pitch is a ball. And that one's hit to the shortstop, McCoy. And he makes the throw. 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th. 6-3 on the putout. Gets Cates. And that brings in Lust. First pitch is skied into right field. Valencia on his way back. He's got a beat on it. And he catches it for out number 2. The Spartans are 1 out away from their first win of the year. This has been a great game between both teams. It's been an up and back battle. And in steps Krajewski. And the first pitch is a strike from Schneiderman. He'll get the win here if they can hold on. And strike 2 with a slider. 1 strike away. And Krajewski grounds this to the shortstop, McCoy. Oh, but there's a mix-up between McCoy and Goldstein. And that's going to be an error on the third baseman, Goldstein, to keep the inning alive for the Tommies. And that'll bring up Halverson. It would have been a tough play either way. To get Krajewski. And in steps number 3, Halverson for the Tommies. Schneiderman's looking to cap off this for the Spartans. And that one's drove into center for a single. And the runner's going to hold at second. Runner's on first and second with 2 outs now. And in steps Bollingberg. He's 1 for 4 on the day with a double. And scored on that double as well. Mound visit right now between Schneiderman and Kvenvold. Talk things over as Bollingberg comes in. It's one of the hottest Tommy hitters. So we have 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 10th. First pitch to Bollingberg is high for ball 1. The 1-0 from Schneiderman. High ball 2. And that's a strike. 2-1 the count now. And the delivery. Check swung out in front of the plate. Kvenvold. Toss crosses it over to first for the win. Spartans get their first win of the season in extra innings. Good way to start the spring trip down here in Tucson, Arizona at Keno Sports Complex with a big extra inning win over St. Thomas. As the Spartans squeak this one out, 4-3. Check our Twitter page later for a post-game interview. And we'll see you tomorrow with a doubleheader against Bethany Lutheran.